Most retirees think that building wealth is about saving more or making better investment decisions. But what actually separates the rich retirees from the poor ones is what they refuse to spend their money on. In finance, sometimes the difference between success and failure isn't about what you do, it's about what you avoid. What rich retirees know is that the game of wealth isn't about hitting home runs. It's a game of avoiding errors and staying on track. And that's exactly why today I'm going to walk you through the 4 money traps that look safe and even smart, but can quietly erode your retirement without you even realizing it. And stay to the end because we'll be breaking down the mindset that explains why rich retirees somehow avoid these mistakes, even without thinking about it, and how this mindset can help you avoid other common money traps too. I'm Joe Bogan. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've worked with hundreds of retirees over the past 8 years. And this video is about where the real money gets lost so that you don't have to do it. The first and most emotional money trap of all is supporting adult children financially. This is known as the boomerang burden. A lot of retirees find themselves helping adult children, covering rent, paying bills, even helping their children pay for excessive lifestyles or spending money on lavish gifts. And listen, that all comes from love. You want to see your kids stable and happy, but there's a difference between helping and enabling. In some situations, there's a fine line. Everyone's got unique relationships with their children, so it may not always be so clear on where to draw the line. But taking a hard look at your personal finances is critical if you want to be giving to your adult children. Data suggests that it is a growing issue. 46% of parents say that their adult children have moved back home, and 38% say that they have delayed their own retirement or reduced their ability to retire based on this situation. What starts as compassion can quietly turn to guilt, obligation, and potentially financial strain. Wealthy retirees handle this differently. They set boundaries and budgets. Helping within your means does not make you selfish. It makes you sustainable. One of my clients once said, it's hard to say no to your kids until you realize that saying yes may mean saying no to your own long-term security. It's like they say at the airport, you have to put your own oxygen mask on before you can help others. So make sure that you have a secure financial plan and trajectory and see if you want to help, what is appropriate for the child's development and what are the implications of helping on your own financial plan. That doesn't mean you don't help, but it means getting clear on the impact to you and your future financial security. So that way, you know, if you need to draw a boundary, or if you're going to give, at least you're doing it with awareness on the impact of your own long-term situation. Generosity can be powerful, and I'm all for giving while you're alive so your kids can enjoy it and you can experience it more. But that is only if your plan can support it. So many people are suffering because they're not clear on where sensible and safe boundaries of their kids should be with money. The next one is high fee financial products. So this is something a little bit more technical, but definitely just as dangerous. There are 3 big categories that can quietly drain your retirement wealth. The first is high fee annuities. These are among the most misunderstood products in finance. Unfortunately, some, definitely not all, but some agents use that confusion and complexity to sell safe and high return illustrations that come with fees that could be averaging 3% a year. I've seen annuities with fees of potentially near 5% per year. Now, I'm not saying all fees are garbage. I think sometimes when we're talking about fees, we may risk veering into a conversation where everything seems like a scam and there's no value for anyone anywhere. Some annuities make sense and they could have their place in certain financial planning circumstances, but you better do your research carefully and ideally get a second opinion from a qualified and impartial party before signing anything. These products are often locked in for years, and it is possible that some people may label themselves as a financial advisor, and they're really making most of their money by selling annuities and getting commission. So be aware and evaluate the pros and the cons thoroughly when you decide to get into them. If it isn't a good fit for your specific situation, it could cost you big over time. The second is cash value life insurance. This is a sister or brother to the high fee annuity. It sounds like an investment and insurance policy rolled into one. Sweet deal. But the break even on these products can be as much as 7 years out before you recoup all the fees in the cash value, let alone the potential growth that you're foregoing and missing out on during that time. There are some niche situations when cash value life insurance can make sense. But unless you have a complex estate plan or you have basically no risk tolerance for other investment types, buying one after 50 usually doesn't add up or allow for long enough time for this to play out meaningfully in your situation. And third, high fee managed funds that eat into returns through layers of charges that you may not even notice. Many people that have these products are completely unaware of these costs. Again, not all costs are bad. There are some great funds that have high fees, but the overwhelming majority of high fee investment funds fail to deliver any additional value or meaningful investment returns compared to lower product counterparts. Oftentimes, these are marketed as safe, but what's sold as safe can just lead to slow erosion over time. Here's what rich retirees do instead. They are conducting regular portfolio reviews. They're asking and trying to understand, what am I paying in fees? Is this product transparent? Is it flexible, or am I locked in? They are not afraid to pay for something if it's worthwhile, such as guidance, but there is a difference between a worthwhile cost and hidden charges that give limited value back in exchange. If you can't get a clear and direct answer about costs, that is a clear sign to pause. The next trap, these can be emotional and expensive. Many retirees dream of a second home or a vacation property, and it feels like a reward for years of work, a guaranteed getaway, maybe even a little income on the side if they rent it out. But reality rarely matches this fantasy. Recently, LendingTree research found that more than half of second home owners didn't use the property as much as they expected to when they bought it. And over half of second home owners never actually rent their house out. Some eventually sell their property because of the costs that they didn't expect, the rental hassles, the maintenance, the property taxes, the travel, the repairs. And what's even worse is timeshares. 85% of owners of timeshares eventually regret it. Why? Well, it looks like freedom. It's like you're buying and paying in advance for a vacation every year. But often it just turns out a bill that follows you forever. Rich retirees know this, and they value flexibility. They don't mind paying more per trip to explore new places rather than locking themselves into one location that's going to drain time and cash year after year. If you're considering purchasing one of these, you want to test the waters first. Rent for a few seasons, run the numbers, talk to real estate owners. Most find that a vacation dream home costs more freedom than it buys, but it can make sense for your unique situation. Just want to do your due diligence. Last is the retirement secrets courses and seminars. The final trap here that preys on people's hope. You've seen them, the exclusive retirement secret seminars. I even got an invite in the mail the other day, a free steak dinner, a glossy brochure, a friendly expert promising the insider strategies that wealthy retirees use. If you're getting a free steak dinner, you are the target. The chances are that the education session will lead straight to a high fee annuity or insurance pitch. Now, not all seminars are scams. Some provide good basic information, but there is a lot of hype around different things like flipping houses or trading foreign exchange or drop shipping to make a quick buck. These are more often than not a mirage and a fruitless pursuit, or even if they do work, take many more years than expected. Here's a rule. If it sounds like a simple, fast, or universal thing, it's probably not real. Even if you do have a good seminar that covers some basics in personal finance, what you're getting is something that's very generic. It can't speak to everyone's unique situation, and they can rarely make it clear what does and what does not apply to you, because real practical financial planning is very personal and very nuanced. And there's a huge difference between what to do and how to do it. Anyone can learn the basics of what a Roth conversion is, for example, but few will be able to properly figure out how to do tax projections for today and in the future, and to determine if it is a huge opportunity or a massive mistake. This is why there is a gap in all of these educational programs. It's the same reason there are thousands of books on how to lose weight, that yet few people that actually buy these end up getting the results they want. Knowledge is good, just beware of the hype and don't get overconfident just because you have a little knowledge. It's the application that counts, and it's the application that matters. So if a course or a seminar makes big promises, ask the most powerful question in finance. What's the catch? This will show you exactly where the trade-offs are that you might have overlooked, and perhaps save you from making a mistake that costs you significant money. So what is the takeaway to all this, and what can we learn? Well, the solution isn't to stop spending or to live in fear. It's just to make decisions slowly and thoughtfully and be aware of all the pros and cons before you're doing something. Rich retirees tend to share 5 key habits that help protect their freedom. The first is maintaining flexibility, then avoiding long-term commitments or products that might trap them in 4 years. Third is focusing on what you can control, not timing or changes in Congress, but cost, tax efficiency, and diversification. For example, if you have mutual funds in a taxable account, you may be able to reallocate those and save unnecessary taxes every year. Next, they don't chase hot investments. They'd rather be something that's boring and consistent rather than something that's exciting and risk going broke. Then they consider opportunity costs. Every dollar should have a purpose. If it's tied up in something unproductive, that is a silent loss. Lastly, they are going to surround themselves with the right people. Wealthy retirees pay for advice. Oftentimes, they're seeking out fiduciary and fee-only advisors who don't earn commissions and sell you products. Let me give you a quick side story to demonstrate this. I recently spoke to an advisor at a large banking firm who was required to sell a certain number of banking products every year, qualify for certain bonuses. He was desperate to go independent because he couldn't spend the time delivering the honest advice on some of these products. And that's parts of the system that most retirees don't see, and why it's important to know who's truly on your side. So the truth is, flexibility, control, efficiency, and transparency are real markers that can help lead to long-term wealth creation. It's not always about what the rich retirees are doing that makes them rich. It's about what they're not doing, which helps keep them from getting poor. Now, hopefully you've learned something about how you can do the same. If you'd like to learn more about what you should be spending on in retirement or how to align your money to your goals, I want you to click the link in the description below. You fill out a few questions and we will send you a 5-minute completely confidential and completely free review. We'll break down some thoughts and maybe even some strategies that we think might be relevant.